Welcome to my video on exponents in algebra. So what is an exponent? An exponent is a shorthand notation to show repeated multiplication of the same number or variable. Let's take the simple case here, 2 raised to the 3 power. 2 times 2 times 2, so that's cubed. And in this case, 2 is going to be the base number, and 3 is the exponent, or power. Now when we're working with exponents, they take first priority over addition and multiplication or division. So 4 times 3 squared is equal to 4 times 9. So we do this first. That's equal to 36. 2 squared plus 2, let's do 3 squared, is equal to 2 times 2 is 4. Then we add it to 3 squared is 9. So that's equal to 13. Next, we're going to look at exponents with natural numbers. Natural number exponents, that's going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, represent how many times to multiply the base by itself. So for example, 7 to the 0 is equal to 1. X to the 0 is equal to 1. So this is a general rule. Anything to the 0 is equal to 1. 5 to the first power is just equal to 5. We're multiplying 5 times itself 1 time. That's just 5. 4 squared, 4 to the second power. 4 times 4 is equal to 16. 3 cubed is equal to 3 times 3 times 3. That's 9 times 3. That's 27. And then we note that 0 raised to the 0, it's just undefined. That's a problem for a later day. Now we're going to look at negative integer exponents. A negative exponent means to take the reciprocal of the base to a positive exponent. So let's look at an example here. So 2 to the minus 3 is the same as 1 over 2 to the third, which is 1 over 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which is 1 over 8. So that's where we have a negative exponent right there. X to the minus 2 is equal to 1 over x squared. And we have to make the caveat where x does not equal 0. We can't have this thing blow up because 1 over 0 is infinity. Now minus 4 to the minus 2, leave the minus sign, and that's 1 over 4 squared is equal to minus 1 over 16. So that's the cases where we have a negative exponent. Now let's look at the case where we have rational fractional exponents. So instead of a whole number, we're going to have a fractional number. And this is going to represent a root, basically. So in general, a to the 1 over n is equal to the nth root of a, and a to the m power divided by n is equal to the nth root of a, all that raised to the mth power. Now that's kind of involved there, but that's an m and an n. And then, so that's going to be our fraction. That's what we're talking about here, there, and there. And then, so that means a is, take the square root or the nth root of a and raise the whole thing to the nth power. Let's look at some examples. So we've got 16 to the 1/2 is equal to the square root of 16, because the 1/2 power is just the square root. So that's equal to 4. Now let's consider the example of 8 raised to the 2/3 power. That can be written as the cubed root of 8, all quantity squared. Now 8, the cubed root of 8 is just 2 times 2 times 2. So that's going to be equal to 2 squared. That's just equal to 4. Now let's look at the case where we got minus 16 raised to the 1/4 power. Now we got a problem here. We can't really we're not equipped yet mathematically is not a real number. That gets into a complex number. So we're going to avoid raising negative numbers to fractional powers right now. That's a topic for a later date. Let's look at the example of 125 to the 2/3 power. And that's going to be equal to 125 raised to the 1/3 power, quantity squared, because that's the root right here, the 1/3 root, and then that's the quantity squared is the 2. So that's equal to 125 raised to the 3rd power, 1/3, and all this squared, same thing again. Okay, the 3rd root of 125 is 5 times 5 times 5. 25 times 5 is 125, so that's equal to 5 squared. That's equal to 25. One more example here. 8 to the minus 4 over 3 is equal to 1 over 8 to the 4 over 3. Since we've got a minus sign there, that puts everything down in the denominator, which is equal to 1 over 8 to the 1/3 power to the 4th power, that whole quantity. Well, we know that the cube root of 8 is going to be equal to 2. That's raised to the 4th power, and that's in the denominator. So 2 to the 4th power is going to be 16. That's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So that's 1 over 16. All right, now, that's all I'm going to do on this video right now, but I have some other videos coming out on more on exponents. So check that in the listings, and you'll find that. I hope you got something out of this video, learned about exponents, and if you did, give me a like, thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching.